Stephen St. John.
I am the greatest.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
All around is watching us, the Mexicans. And I feel proud about represent Mexico. ¡Viva México, cabrones!
Welcome to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? Spartans! What is your profession? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
It's time! New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, and HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
Are you ready for some football?
Chiefs.
Mahomes gets the snap, takes the handoff. Deep drop, got a lot of time this time, and he's going deep. Got a man open inside the 10 at the goal line. Flag down, touchdown. Xavier Worthy blew behind the defense. A perfect throw from Mahomes. 54 yards, and Kansas City's on the board for the first time today.
5-yard line in New Orleans. First and goal for Kansas City. Mahomes in the gun. There's the snap. The handoff going to Hunt over the guard. The 5 on the hash mark. He goes in for a Kansas City touchdown. A run of 5 yards for the former Chief, and back with Kansas City, Kareem Hunt takes it in.
4th and goal. Mahomes gonna walk in. Touchdown. Mahomes on 4th and goal runs it in himself.
The feel, and Patrick running through Mustafa.
3 tight ends, 3rd and goal. Mahomes caught, touchdown. Kelsey, his first regular season touchdown reception in 13 games. Mahomes, and caught by Worthy, touchdown. Mahomes, his second touchdown pass today.
Look forward to the challenge of playing Tampa Bay. We know they're a good football team, very well coached. I mean, Todd does a heck of a job with that crew. Excuse me. Along with his coordinators, they're all top-notch guys, and both offensively, defensively, and special teams, they're doing well. So we look forward to that. Again, that challenge of prepping ourselves this week to get ready to play them. So. On Monday night, in particular, right here at GH Field at Arrowhead. So.
When you see new guys come in during the year, he seems pretty excited to be here. Obviously, coming from the other team, you come from a team that's undefeated, with a lot of great defensive players on it. Do you feel that kind of energy when guys get in the room to how excited they are to be a Chief?
I think it's a culture difference. You know what I mean? This culture here is fun, goofy, personality-wise, we got a lot of characters in the defensive line room, so it's a very intriguing group. I think it's fun to be around, but we also work hard, so I think he was able to notice that from his time being here and make him excited to come to work.
Coach, so. It's a damn rebuild.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Monday, November 4th, day 4 of my birthday month, if you're keeping track. November 30th, for those who care. 2024. Stephen St. John and Todd Leabo with Jake Gutierrez. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Today on the show, we'll have Pete Sweeney from Arrowhead Pride. He'll be with us in studio in the 7 o'clock hour to help us preview Chiefs and Bucks tonight on Monday Night Football. At 8 o'clock, we'll chat with Catherine Tappan, get her thoughts on the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, some of the things that happened in the NFL yesterday, and also a wild Saturday in college football. And then 9:05, Bill Moss, former Chiefs defensive lineman, and someone who joins us every Monday to talk Chiefs football right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Chiefs and Bucks. Go Chiefs. But
what precisely do you need?
If we're gonna be real here,
you're gonna get greedy.
Go Chiefs, while allowing a combination of 40 yards to Cade Otton.
Oh. That seems simple enough. The Chiefs have allowed some yards to tight ends. It hasn't hurt them yet.
And Rashad White.
Local product, right?
Yeah.
He just needs 10 yards rushing and 30 yards receiving for Otton, or they each need 40?
Then I win.
You win. Easy.
I'm down 3.
Oh, easy.
And the only reason I'm down 3 is because of and I sat there and called it. I was watching with Phil. The stupid, moronic, dumb, stupid, dumb, the dumbest team I've seen this year.
Is it the Philadelphia Eagles?
The Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, Seattle. They're dumb as well.
Are so dumb.
Philadelphia's dumb too.
Like Geno Smith threw 2 of the worst red zone interceptions. Or one of them,
is he your quarterback?
Threw it just to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
Just threw it. And another, like both times, and I can't remember the analyst was like, he goes, I honestly don't know where he was throwing it.
What are you doing?
Twice, right? And that's the only reason the Rams were in it. Stupid. So stupid.
Yeah, one of them, he was absolutely shocked that it was even picked off. He's like,
I threw that so bad. What? No one gonna get
it. The guy, I don't know who it was either. The guy doing the play-by-play was like, that's picked off.
And then in overtime, they had it down inside the 20, 4th and 1, and they went for it. Man, these teams just don't want to take points. They refuse to take points. Whatever. I don't care. And so then, because I was going up against Stafford, and if the game, because it was 4th and 5.
You needed Matt Stafford not to take the field again.
But then, like, Geno Smith sucked.
Yes.
In those red zone opportunities, but he still threw for like 340 or whatever. But then, like a 4th and 5 that would have ended the game, and I told Phil, I go, this game needs to end.
Just get it over.
Because we're going up against
Stafford
and Kyron Williams. End the game. End the game. Because something's going to happen. They're going to go overtime. And then I needed Seattle to score a touchdown. End the game. They didn't. So now the Rams just need to kick a field goal, so they won't be trying to score a touchdown. But, of course, Stafford, you never know what he's going to do. Fired a bomb downfield. That did lead to seeing Demarcus Robinson make a one-handed touchdown catch to win the game. And a bunch of his teammates, were congratulating him on X. But that was just a 7-point play I didn't need to happen.
Didn't need it.
Totally avoidable.
Game would be over now.
Or the game would be over.
Yeah. How about a little, excuse me, no big deal touchdown late by Tampa for Otton just to get you some yards.
I don't need that much.
Chiefs win 27-10.
I don't need that. I don't even need that.
Just a couple yards.
I don't need that.
How about 50 yards receiving on the first drive, then twist an ankle?
It's over.
You're done.
I don't want to get hurt.
No, not hurt.
Just yards.
Just twist your ankle.
I want Rashad White to have some yards. I like Rashad White. He's been on the show. He's a local kid. His family will be there. Give him the touchdown at the end.
Give him a touchdown.
After the Chiefs are up 27-7.
27-7. Done. Cover. Got it. Easy.
So, I'm watching that, whatever. But tonight should be, look, the Chiefs should take care of business. There's no Mike Evans. There's no Chris Godwin. Baker Mayfield has been one of the better quarterbacks.
He will give you the ball, though.
He leads. We're going into this week and led the league in touchdown passes and interceptions.
He's active.
Now, and all kidding aside, without worrying about my fantasy team, Cade Otton and Rachaad White should get the ball a lot.
Sure.
Because that's who he's throwing to now. He's throwing to tight ends and running backs. And he's trying to, they're somewhat similar to the Chiefs, where you lose wide receivers, and then you kind of have to change who you are and what your approach is. But, Baker Mayfield's no Patrick Mahomes. But it should be fun to watch, I think. Anytime you watch the Chiefs on prime time, it's 3.5, 4 hours well spent. But I fully expect the Chiefs to win. I think the Chiefs, I feel like I've said this 2 or 3, 4 times this year. Man, would I like to see the Chiefs go out and do what the Ravens did to the Broncos yesterday.
Yeah, just whip somebody.
41-10. It doesn't have to be 41-10. Let's go out, here we go, once again, self-serving. Go out and get a 3-touchdown lead where some people decide, I got to get up and go to work early tomorrow.
Go home.
Leave in the third quarter.
Just leave.
And give me
clear
a clear
the
path
parking lot
out of the Truman Sports Complex.
Yes.
Late at night.
That'd be good.
Now, the one thing we are rooting for, obviously, is the weather to hold off. We don't need any lightning delays tonight. Yeah. We don't need any of that. Man, I did notice on Facebook, there's a bunch of people selling their tickets. A lot.
Really?
Because most of the people that I'm friends with on Facebook are Chiefs fans. And I was noticing that yesterday. I was scrolling through. I'm like, damn, we're selling our tickets tonight. We have, we'll give you a free parking pass. Here's 4. And
Interesting.
I haven't looked at anything at Tickets for Less or anything else. I'm just telling you.
They just scared the little rain?
I don't know. Maybe they're turned off by the matchup. Maybe they are scared off by they don't want to sit in the rain, the lightning delay, whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe after Halloween and the American Royal,
a little tired.
They are what I have described myself as all tuckered out. Yeah. I gave everything I had to the American Royal.
You gave it all?
Susan and I had a wonderful time at Pork Radio 810.
Some gave all?
Yeah. Man, we sure did. Had a great time. That was a wonderful event.
I must have been in bed by, 8:30 Friday.
I was in bed by 8:30 Saturday, I think. No, we had a great time. We don't get a chance to go out that often and spread our wings.
You flew around Kansas Speedway?
No, we did get plenty of calls. When you coming home? Where you at? From the girls.
We'll be there when we get there.
Right. If McDonald's is open, stop by. No, there ain't no stopping by nothing. All right.
You bring a care package from Pork Radio.
Well, that was delicious food. I can tell you that right now. And I saw a lot of great.
Did we win Saturday?
Who?
Pork Radio 810. Did we win a prize?
No idea. I tapped out Friday night, buddy. I have no idea.
I mean, I didn't.
Giant robots could have showed up on Saturday at the American Roll, and I have no idea.
I don't
know.
I didn't get an email that we won a prize in the barbecue contest.
No idea. We should have. The brisket was out of sight.
Out of sight.
And really good hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
I love hot dogs.
How you like a hot steaming weenie?
Yeah. So tonight, Chiefs, Bucks. We'll talk about it. We'll preview it for you.
I'll give you a bold prediction for tonight. How about this? Trent McDuffie gets his first interception tonight.
All right.
Baker's going to throw 1 or 2 tonight because that's what he does. He might throw a couple of touchdowns as well, but I think he's going to throw a couple of picks here. Let's have that happen. A little celebration. First interception for the Pro Bowl cornerback.
I've got no problem with that. Now, a little bit of bad news. The injury bug continues to bite the Kansas City Chiefs as Jared Wiley, the rookie tight end, tears his ACL in practice. And he's been replaced on the active roster by Peyton Hendershot.
Yes.
Who was, remember, acquired at the end of training camp by the Chiefs. And he's been
up and down.
He's been on the practice squad, but
practice squad off the roster.
It's just amazing. And and he didn't, I'm not talking about targets, but he played a lot.
Yeah, he was out there
in that last game because they've had to change who they are and they've had to go heavier with tight ends. And I mean, as soon as they decide, okay, you know what, we're down some wide receivers, we're going to lean more on these 4 tight ends.
Lost 2 tight ends
Jody
in a week.
Fortson torn ACL.
Yeah.
Jared Wiley torn ACL. Like, okay, all right then. Now, okay, we got DeAndre Hopkins. Look, and I'm telling you that I wouldn't be surprised if there's not another trade to be made. Tomorrow's the trade deadline, and so there may not be any sleep after the Chiefs play on Monday Night Football for Brett Veach and Andy Reid. They might go, right, and okay, now can we make another deal? Can we get something done? And could it be for another wide receiver? Maybe. Could it be for a corner? Possibly. But I would not be shocked if the Chiefs make another deal. And knock on wood, hopefully nobody else gets injured tonight, but damn. And I mean, of course they can overcome, Wiley being hurt, but it's just disappointing because it felt like he was starting to come on and they were using him more. And just, it sucks. Like Adam Schefter reported that the Chiefs have inquired about cornerback Marshawn Lattimore from the New Orleans Saints. Some other people said, well, the Saints are still up in the air, but if they were to lose to Carolina, then they'll trade.
How'd that go?
Well, they lost to Carolina. And if you want to have some fun, go check out former Chief defensive lineman
Colin Saunders.
My boy from Western.
On Twitter. He got into it, not into it, but he had a funny give and take with I think it was Lonnie Johnson, because all the Saints got on X and were commiserating about how embarrassing it was to lose.
I wonder if they're reading Michael Thomas's tweets.
To the Panthers.
That was rough.
And then, but even J.C. Horn got on there and answered some of the Saints. Like, he was like, "Bros, you got the same record as we do. Why is it so embarrassing?" Which is kind of funny, right? It ain't that embarrassing. And well, then like I think it was Lonnie Johnson said, if we're doo-doo, then what are you? Because we just beat you. It was pretty funny, right? Yes, and then Michael Thomas got on there.
During the game.
During the game was ripping Derek Carr. Derek Carr was asked about it after the game and talked about being basically ridiculed by Derek Carr and Chris Olave's brother, who was also agreeing with Derek Carr, agreeing with Michael Thomas that it was Derek Carr's fault.
Hung him out
that
to dry.
Olave got a concussion.
Another concussion.
And Derek Carr is afraid to get hit, and Derek Carr does this and does that. Dude, the Saints, you know what? Anyone that they can trade, they should trade. Because that thing's falling apart from the inside and from the outside. And they're in a bad salary situation, and they're terrible. All of that combined together, yes, they should trade. So if they can make it work, I mean, if they could get Marshawn Lattimore, yes, that would be a cause for celebration.
We'll see. Much to happen in the league. Much to happen.
What do you mean, not much to happen?
I mean, listen, everyone else out there hunting for players too. That's the thing. And this is the time of the year where people think they are alive, and maybe they're not. And so they may be more desperate to give up something to get something, That's the thing that I think right now.
It doesn't seem like as many GMs like to wheel and deal as much as Brett Veach
I
does.
agree with that.
I mean, there are guys who do not like trading and moving guys from their roster into your roster in season, but Brett Veach doesn't have a problem doing it whatsoever.
He's got no problem doing it. But some of these teams, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on them. I mean, the Raiders just fired 3 coaches last night, right?
Yeah, not the right ones.
Well, they suck.
Well, they suck, but so teams are doing things. So, I mean, like the Bengals, they're 4-5, but they're not going to quit on the season.
No.
You look at the Cowboys, they're ridiculous. They'll probably try to do something. But if the Chiefs want to go get something done, they'll probably get it done. They do well with that. I think the trade deadline in the National Football League has turned into a much more fun thing than it used to be. It used to be super rare to have trades, and now they're actually having more trades. So it's fun.
And look, they've already been active. So even if they don't do anything, it's not like they just sat on their hands and didn't do anything.
Well, the best thing is that they extended the trade deadline this late. I mean, it used to be over by now.
Yes, it was earlier.
And so teams were afraid, they were still in it. It was like 2 weeks earlier. And so now that they've moved it back, teams are now there's less teams that are involved in the playoff race.
Yeah, but teams still don't like to give up, Jake. They just think, we could if we just, we're alive. All we have to do is win.
Well, for
7 games, you're like,
the decision.
Dude, you guys ain't winning 7 more games.
The decision's been made for them. Like for the Saints, the decision was made for them.
Right.
I think so.
But 2 weeks ago,
they lost to Carolina.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago it wouldn't have been. Now it's over.
Okay, this is from Diana Rossini's column at The Athletic. The Kansas City Chiefs already made their moves, and it was no surprise GM Brett Veach pulled off 2 trades before we even reached the deadline. Casey added DeAndre Hopkins and Joshua Uche, but the Chiefs still might not be done. If a wide receiver falls into their laps, I'm told they're going to try to land another one with Sky Moore on IR. Also, defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo would love for Veach to get him a young, fast corner. Kansas City is trying to land the final pieces on its mission to a three-peat. All right. You got a problem with that? Mr. Negative over there?
Is Marshawn Lattimore doesn't qualify as a young, fast corner,
but
he's a quality corner.
Yeah, I mean,
he's 28.
What, are you going to complain if they acquire him?
No, I'm not going to complain. How does he fit cap-wise? He's probably near the end, in the middle of a contract, right?
Oh, he fits very well.
At the end of it.
Yeah.
He fits very, very well. Look it up. Let me see your reaction to this. Come on, look it up. You got your computer there.
He's got
You got your fancy internet.
Little restructure.
Go on.
Proration. So they've already taken half the cap hit this year.
Come on.
And then
he fits.
He fits.
Yes.
Would they have to restructure someone else, or they make enough room with Jawan Taylor's restructure they could do some things?
Whatever. It'll
find a way.
It'll fit.
Find a way.
All right. That team is in shambles.
What do you mean? Because they've lost 7 games in a row?
Jordan Schultz. Sources. Teams have called about Saints 4-time Pro Bowl corner Marshawn Lattimore, though it remains unclear if New Orleans would be willing to entertain a deal. The Saints are 2-6 and get Derek Carr back today. Rival teams believe that a loss to Carolina could prompt New Orleans to strongly explore multiple moves. Well, fast forward. They lost to Carolina.
Time to strongly consider some things.
Right. Don't you think that'll make you strongly consider things?
The 7 games in a row. Remember they scored like 40 points the first couple weeks?
Yeah.
And they just...
That's how quickly things can change.
At least they have Derek Carr.
Yeah.
How much money is he making this year?
Well, what do you get for Lattimore, Jake?
I'd probably give a 5th. I mean, late round pick.
More than that?
Well, if it takes more than that?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
I probably would. I mean,
for Lattimore, you wouldn't give more than
I'd probably give a 4th and a 6th. I don't know. I mean, that's probably as steep as I'd go. I don't know. Look, the Chiefs are going after something that's never been done.
That's what I keep trying to impress upon people, although nobody wants to really embrace this.
No, I'm with you.
They have a chance to do something.
History.
And look.
So you're willing to sacrifice
we spent so much time
the
talking
future
about Andy Reid chasing Belichick and Mahomes chasing Tom Brady and this, that, and everything else. If they do this, they chase no one. They have done something that nobody has ever done and probably won't ever do, not in our lifetimes, win 3 in a row. Nobody. Name a quarterback. No one.
But what do you think Andy Reid thinks about that.
I bet I think he thinks he wants it. Yeah.
Yes. I think
trading for DeAndre Hopkins and Uche should show you that, and doing all the things they've done.
I think it means. I think it means a great deal to him.
Yes.
I think it means that's a huge deal to him.
It means like he's probably thinking, you know what? I might be able to catch Belichick, but I don't know if I'm going to be around that long. I might be able to.
Oh
do
no,
it.
I think that part.
But
of it, like,
he does this, and it separates him from everyone else.
But they don't care about going undefeated and all that.
No, not
undefeated. I didn't say undefeated.
No.
About winning.
Three-peat.
Oh, absolutely winning Super Bowl.
3
but
in a row.
I think they might feel like they have that right now.
But if you can go and solidify it, I don't know if Spags says, you know, hey, I need another corner. Then maybe they go out and get another corner.
Is Lattimore that guy?
Oh, he's the best available.
Is he part of this team that just lost 7 in a row?
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you
the best available.
Is he an upgrade?
Yes.
Over Joshua Williams? Yes.
Right.
Over anybody on this roster.
Over Trent McDuffie?
Let me finish. You cut me off. I said other than Trent McDuffie before you cut me off. Of course he's not better than the All-Pro that's on our cornerback crew. But other than that, he would easily be the second best cornerback on this team.
For sure.
No, I mean no question.
For sure, but
and look, and maybe,
they don't want to mortgage too much either because they do such a good job.
I don't think they really care right now.
No, I don't. I think
they got 2 third-round picks, brother.
Well, you know, if that's what it takes, but is he worth more than what they gave up for what you're seeing given up for quality wide receivers? Are wide receivers that cheap now?
How many corners? How many corners have been traded? How many wide receivers have been traded?
And wide receivers are more of them.
All over the place. Corners are very hard to come by because there just haven't been named. The corners have been traded in this.
There hasn't
trade
been,
deadline period.
So.
Wide receivers are getting traded left and right.
We're just having a conversation.
Yeah, but it's a lot more difficult because you're talking about fit, you're talking about availability, and there's just a premium on corners. Wide receivers, I'm not saying they're a dime a dozen, but how many wide receivers have been available and have been acquired?
They're definitely more prevalent than the others.
And it may not be Lattimore. Maybe they go out and get some just young guy that doesn't have the rep that he does or the experience, but he fits into the system. Maybe they don't do anything, but it's not because they're not trying.
Oh, they're definitely
too many
trying.
people are reporting this. You know, and it's that's what Brett Veach does.
It's absolutely what he does.
You know, there are people that they're not going to try to trade for DeAndre Hopkins. Well, they did.
They absolutely did.
Now everyone accepts it because it happened. And this team, yes, I do. I mean, it's Travis Kelce has how many more years?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think he's going to play 1 after this. I don't know if he's going to play 2.
I don't think Andy's close to retiring, but Andy's, you know, all you got to do is ask yourself this. What are the odds that they'll ever have a chance to have a 3-peat again?
Less than 1%, probably.
Extremely difficult. And this is something that separates them, that sets them apart from every other franchise forever.
Forever and ever.
Forever. And I do think that's powerful because you're not just talking about winning a championship. Now you're talking about establishing a legacy that can't be touched. And you could have after that, with a straight face, I could sit here and tell you Andy Reid's better than Belichick. And you could argue it one way, and I could argue it another way. And I could feel pretty good about my argument. And because guess what? After the 3-peat, they ain't done. Then we're talking about a 4-peat maybe. And maybe that ain't going to happen, but damn it, we'd be talking about it. But just the idea for them to have a chance to go for this 3-peat. Yeah, and things are going against them. And they're having players, they've had to deal with injury after injury after injury, and they still ain't lost a damn game.
That's true.
This is such a special group. And it's not going to be together forever. Spags ain't going to be the defensive coordinator forever.
That's the interesting part about the group is they are very careful about who they bring into the group, too. You know, I don't know much about Lattimore, if he'd fit or not. You know, that's kind of the deal. I'm sure he'd be fine. He's a super talented player. There's no question about that. But they're very careful about who they bring in on that front as well. They do a good job with that. First things first, though. They got to play a game tonight, try to win a game.
Oh, while the game is going on, Veach is going to be talking to people.
Yeah.
Trust me. Trust that.
Just watch Lattimore on X. Maybe he'll be tweeting about him during the game.
And also, and don't think they'll be watching the corners. All right, and
big night for Josh Williams.
And if not, Najee Johnson's not going to play. But
yeah,
whoever's out there opposite Trent McDuffie, if they're getting blown up.
Yeah, Josh had a couple of penalties last week. They weren't great, obviously, but he didn't play awful. We'll just see how it goes. He'll get more comfortable. He's got quite a bit of playing time now, so.
Or maybe they decide, okay, we're all right.
They could.
Let's go get another wide receiver.
Good.
Okay, hey, look, they were rumored to be chasing a left tackle a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to explore. They're going to see. Maybe something happens. Maybe nothing happens. But they're aggressive in trying to make something happen. They've already made 2 trades, and there could be another one. But you're right, Todd. There's a game tonight, Monday Night Football. Back into this on WHP. I like how he sits here the entire commercial break, and then as we're coming back from break, gets up and walks out of the studio.
Not as much as I do.
By the way, rest in peace to the legendary producer Quincy Jones, who another person that my mother was quite fond of, and there's a good reading assignment for you today. Go look up Quincy Jones and everything that he had his hands in.
Everything.
I just retweeted a video of Sinatra. Fly Me to the Moon began life as, in other words, in waltz time, Sinatra asked Quincy Jones for a swing rearrangement, and then the iconic result, and I retweeted a video at a benefit in St. Louis in 1965 with Quincy Jones conducting the Count Basie Orchestra as Sinatra singing Fly Me to the Moon after Quincy Jones rearranged it. Yeah, it's
kind of like the Forrest Gump of music, just like everywhere. Just all over the place in everything. It's amazing. I was looking something up the other day. We were talking about TV theme songs. He made it's the damn Sanford and Son. This is Quincy Jones.
Austin Powers. Look. I'm just telling you. Just do some reading and see everything that he was responsible for.
There's a very cool documentary. It was on HBO, I think, on Max or something, about his life.
Yes.
2 years ago, maybe. It's incredible. 91 years though. Touched a lot of lives.
That's a run.
Amazing.
That's a hell of a run. All right, so there's some. We will move away from football for just a moment. There was some good news yesterday, not totally unexpected, but a little bit surprising for Royals fans. A lot of good news yesterday. First of all, Bobby Witt Jr. wins his first Gold Glove, and Seth Lugo wins his first Gold Glove. So congratulations to Bobby Witt Jr. and Seth Lugo.
That was
for winning the Gold
great
Gloves.
for Bobby. He had great numbers, but it's hard to. The Yankees guy won last year, right? And he had another great year. So to get in above a guy who just won shows how good Bobby was this year. Great for him.
Bobby Witt Jr. Now, the other real good news: Michael Wacha, who, as you know, had a player option
$16
this
million.
year, and most everyone agreed that he would not come back. He would opt out.
Waka.
Because he could get more than that after having a good year with the Royals. But the Royals wanted him back, and by all accounts, he wanted to come back. And the Royals end up signing Michael Wacha to a 3-year deal with a club option for 2028. And that's terrific. And as Jeff Passan writes, Wacha's deal with the Royals will pay him $18 million in 2025, $18 million in 2026, and $14 million in 2027, plus $4 million in easily reachable incentives. The club option, which is for $14 million and includes a $1 million buyout, also includes the same incentives. Wacha was likely to receive a qualifying offer from Kansas City, which would have dampened his free agent market. But this is what's called the quiet period, the 5 days after the World Series ends, when teams can re-sign their free agents to be. But the Royals take advantage of that opportunity to bring back an important part of the rotation. And so 3 years, maybe that was unexpected, but that's something that they had to do.
You pay the tax,
right?
Basically,
you want to bring Michael Wacha back, and it seems like what are we talking about here? 36, 46, 52, 54 million with the incentives, right? About 54 million for 3 years.
I think it can get up. The whole thing can get up over 70 million if you hit everything.
But that'd be 4 years.
That'd be 4 years.
But for the 3 years,
listen, it's the price of pitching.
Yeah. I think he could have got a little more per year.
Well, here's the
right,
thing.
but he got a third year here in Kansas City, and the Royals were willing to give him a third year to keep this rotation intact. And before you say something, I'm going to just let me add this. And I don't know if this is going to be the case, but it allows them the flexibility. Because I will tell you again, the biggest trade chip that they have that they are willing to trade is Brady Singer. And you can look at it one of two ways. One, no. Keep the whole rotation together. That's what made them competitive this year. Or you look at it, you know what? They need a bat because the Royals didn't lose to the Yankees because of their pitching. The Royals lost to the Yankees because they couldn't hit. There was not enough production. They didn't have enough bats. And so, Kyle Wright coming back, some young pitchers getting close. Do you have faith in this staff, in this organization now, that they can churn out some quality pitchers? I'm not telling you this means they're trading Brady Singer. What I'm telling you is this allows them the flexibility if they want to use Brady Singer as a trade chip, and that's a real trade chip where they can get a real bat, whether it's a leadoff guy or a middle-of-the-order bat. This allows them that flexibility. Or they could say, screw it, we'll do it another way. We'll trade prospects. We'll go out and dip our toe in free agency again. We keep our rotation together. Now they have some flexibility, right? They got a couple of roads they can go down here.
After the season, J.J. Piccolo asked him at the year-ender about Brady Singer and, their kind of plans for him. He said, listen, Brady didn't start in any of those games in the ALDS, but he was going to start had they been playing in the ALCS. Okay, so they have that belief in him. But he'd clearly been passed by everyone else in this rotation. He was the youngest player and all that, and these older guys came in, they paid for him. I told you the story, I think I told this on the air here, the day after they lost, or it could have been another show, I don't know. The night they lost Game 4 at home, we were waiting to talk to Michael Wacha. Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo, and Cole Reagans were all standing around having a little goodbye, right, in front of Wacha's locker. And you're like, well, that's their core of the staff. That's just what it looks like. I'm not saying because Brady Singer wasn't standing there talking to him, he wasn't part of the club or whatever, you know what I mean? And I asked Wacha after the game, hey, listen, what are your plans? He's like, hey, man, I'd like to stay here. He likes this part of the country. His family's very happy here. This seemed like a deal he wanted to have made. So I agree with you. Singer is a trade chip. And this isn't some $30 or $40 million deal here. If things go bad in a year or something, I mean, you could trade Michael Wacha if he's pitching all right. You know what I mean? I mean, these are not untradeable contracts like you see around baseball where it's $30 or $40 million for some of these pitchers. I think Wacha fit in nice here. I think he and Lugo are buddies. They like pitching with each other. They like talking about pitching with each other. So this is a good thing for the Royals. Is Michael Wacha going to go out and win 18 or 19 games for the Royals next year? I don't know, probably not. Is he going to be as steady as he was this year? There's a very good chance that's going to happen. This is just another good sign in the ownership of this franchise that they're spending money on the important things. To your point, the big question is, like, right now, should you sign Brady Singer to something that gets a free agent year out of there, or should you trade him, or you just sit here and let it rest? I don't know what the best thing to do on that is, because they've still got player or club control of him for a little while. But he's going to start getting antsy too. You know what I mean? Because eventually you'd like to have some stability in your life on that front. But I'm not sure Brady Singer's deserved that yet. He's been too up and down for me to invest too much money in him for a long-term contract. But what kind of numbers are you talking if you wanted to sign him?
Oh, I don't. I don't.
He hasn't garnered your trust yet, right?
I trust him, but I don't. The money that I think that he's going to ask for.
He would be asking for $25 million a year or something, right?
Yeah, I'm out. I utilize him as a trade chip.
Yeah.
The Royals, look, with that front three that's established and the arms that could replace Singer, I think he helps the Royals.
Kyle Wright's the wild
future.
card, right?
Right.
Big wild card.
Right. But you're talking about, look, hey, either way, this was good.
Yeah, he won't be a true free agent until 27. So there's a lot of club control there. But will it get ugly because he's arbitration eligible this year, right? This year and next is his arbitration years. So that means you can fight about it, which they don't like to do. But doesn't it seem like that would probably be like Brady Singer and his folks might be the people that fight about arbitration, actually have to go to it, and that's where you get your sore feelings and all that stuff.
I think it makes sense to see what you can get for him.
He made $4.8 million this year.
He's a good starting pitcher.
He's 27 years old, by the way. He's not some kid.
He's a good starting pitcher that I think would be very attractive to a number of teams.
And they would have 2 years of control.
They need a bat. That's what they need. What did you leave the Yankee series thinking?
Score some
They
more
need
runs.
another starting pitcher? No.
Score.
They need a bat. But they need a couple of bats.
Yeah.
Not just one. All right. And what they need, I don't know that they can afford. Like, I think they can go out and get one bat in free agency. I think they're going to have to trade for one, and they're going to have to sign one to get what they need, in my opinion. Shall we break, Jake? Shall we keep going? No breaks until 10.
Minutes. Let's talk about the elephant in the room next Saturday night.
No.
Why don't we talk about Oklahoma?
Why can't
Missouri?
we talk about K-State losing?
We could do that. Iowa State losing.
In shocking fashion.
Let's talk about how messy the top of the SEC and
Let
the
me tell
Big
you
12
something.
are to make these conference championship
I
games.
was glad that I had the opportunity to sit and watch the ends of several of these games that took place on Saturday. And I watched Iowa State and their defense fall apart and let Texas Tech, well, not let, Texas Tech deserves credit, but Texas Tech drive right down the field in the rain and score the game-winning touchdown, in Ames, which, I'll be honest with you, was shocking because I thought in that situation, okay, Iowa State's got the lead. They got their defense out there. Texas got to go the length of the field. Iowa State's going to win it. And then they didn't. And then you see Kansas State. And I mean, who was it? Damn it, who was the color commentator for the K-State game?
I can't remember. I had it on, but I don't remember the voices. Too many people.
Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. Was it the blonde quarterback from Washington?
Oh, is it Heward?
Was it Heward?
Could have been. Yeah,
anyway,
it was Brock Heward. I think so.
Anyway, Chris, the quarterback for Houston,
who they just went to a couple weeks ago.
Over and over again, they kept running him.
Mm-hmm.
And over again, he kept getting stuffed. To the point where you're like, hey, stop doing this. It's not working, right? And this is on the drive where they scored the go-ahead touchdown. And Heward goes, and they showed his stats, and he was only getting like
30 yards.
Yeah, 2 yards to carry or whatever. He goes
30 carries or something.
You look at that. He goes, there's been a lot of work and a lot of effort to get very little production. But you know what? If you're Willie Fritz and if you're Houston, you keep doing it. You keep doing it because you're one broken tackle away or one bad angle away from him taking it for a big play, taking it to the house.
I think K-State was, like Stan and you guys were talking on Friday about how Joe Klanderman blitzes and and puts pressure on him. They got caught in the wrong blitz.
But this happened. He said this. He said this a minute before it happened.
Jason Bennett and Brock Heward.
Okay, yeah. Brock, he said, you keep doing this. You keep doing it because you're one misstep away from him taking it to the house.
He took it to the house.
And I'll be damned if like a minute later, right, he broke a tackle to the house, gone. But then there was so much time left.
Yes.
You're thinking, okay, and we were texting back and forth during this, K-State is going to come back and win. And then Avery Johnson threw an interception. Give it right back to Texas Tech. They couldn't close the door. So K-State gets it back again. And they got it at least into a situation
It wasn't even
where,
Hail Mary. It was
it was in that no man's land.
40 yards or something.
I'm thinking, you know what, they still might win. But you got to give – and this is the second time now that Willie Fritz has beat K-State in the last couple of years.
Yep.
He did it once at Tulane.
Listen, Willie Fritz is a good coach.
No. Willie Fritz is a great coach.
I thought all along
you put some respect on his name.
You wanted to play Willie Fritz early, not late in the year.
Jake, put some respect on Willie Fritz's name.
I just put it on his name.
But
respect.
You thought when they build, you'd rather have them early than late.
But honestly, I sat there, and I know that you're not supposed to be stunned or shocked at anything that happens in college football these days. But I sat there after Iowa State loses to Texas Tech, K-State loses to Houston. I was like, I'm stunned.
Yeah.
That these two things just happened. I was shocked.
Hey, college football's wild, man.
But it was like, were you watching that, Jake? I mean, it was like.
The Big 12 had some wild finishes.
Respect is important.
Right.
Respect. Don't try to get the tiebreakers figured out right now in these leagues. It is a mess. It's going to be crazy.
And who benefited?
We do get our first college football playoff rankings
And who benefited the most? Colorado.
Colorado.
Gary Barnett. We'll take a break back after this on WHP.